One really cool thing we can do with Create is manipulate liquids like water and lava. So let's get pumping, shall we? Number one, how do we store it? Well, that's going to be a fluid tank. So get your fluid tanks. These are multi-blocks. I could do one, I could do 2x2, and I could just right click and make it bigger and bigger. I can even then make it a 3x3 and add, the tank bigger and bigger like this. So let's say I've got some water in here. How do I get the water out? And we're also going to look at how to pump water as well, and well, everything basically. So we've got 30 buckets in here. We're going to add a fluid pipe. But how do we get that water out of there? Well, what we're going to want to get is a mechanical pump. And this is basically rotational force, but in the form of, liquids. So get my creative motor, obviously use whatever rotor you have. And then you'd see the simple cog to get this going. So I'm going to place it like this. And then I'm going to place that like this. And as you can see, the water is already gushing out. Now, that's because the little arrow is facing this way. If I right click that, then it's going to be pulling water from here into the tank. And you can see here it's actually filling up with the bits of water that I just had. Now, the cool thing about this is if you have your mechanical pump set to pull and we have our fluid pipe, let's say here, and there's water under it, this fluid pipe will actually work as a pump. As you can see, it's just pumped up that water. Otherwise, we can right click with our wrench and it will start pouring out water out of the pipe until it gets to a whole bucket's worth, and there you go. Use it again and it's going to start pulling that water back up into the tank. That's a very easy way of pumping water, or lava. What we can also do with our wrench is right click the pipe, and therefore it will get itself a nice little glass. You can't do it on bends, but you can see basically if it has water or liquids running through it. As you can see now, the water is running through. So you can always use the wrench to make it see-through so that you know if the water or liquid you're using is actually going through your system or not. If you want to filter your pipes, well, all you have to do is add a smart fluid pipe here and then just place a bucket on it. The only thing that can now flow through this pipe will be water, for example. But there's another way. Let's look at the fluid valve. So what this fluid valve does is you can just use it. It's got rotational energy here. Obviously the pump is pumping out of this tank here, going up to the valve. You add an actual valve on it, turn it, and it will let the flow of liquid through, for example, through to this tank. And you can just turn it again by reversing the rotation on it and therefore shutting off the flow of the liquid. So that's a really great way at controlling flow if you want to stop and start your flow at certain points. There's also an item drain. So this can actually extract fluids from items. For example, right click it to pour fluids from your held item. And that's a really great way at just dumping in liquids. Or we can use conveyors here to put, say, lava, into this drain. So imagine you had buckets of lava going across this conveyor belt. They will automatically empty into the drain. And then because we've got a fluid motor pulling from the drain, it will take the lava from the drain up into our tank here. What about, though, if we want to empty fluids onto things? Well, we have the spout. Let's say we've got our tank set up and the fluid motor is pulling from the tank, pushing it out, and you want to fill up buckets of water. Then what we can do is put a spout, or let's say in this example, a water bottle with honey. Let's say this is full of honey. When it goes over the deployer, or whatever it's called, or through the belt, it will actually stop automatically at the spout and fill up your bottles. And it will do that automatically. So again, if there's honey in here, you've got a fluid motor with the arrow pointing towards the spout and a conveyor beneath the spout. This would work with honey bottles, water buckets, lava buckets, anything like that. You have your funnel set to pull from the chest, so onto the conveyor it goes. The spout will automatically stop it, and then it will fill it, and then it will continue, which is really, really nice. I almost wish it done this with items, but we can't have everything in life. Lastly, we have the hose pulley. This is a really, really cool one. I love this one, I really do. So the hose pulley is used to drain large bodies of water. So I can place it out like this. And let's just add that into here. Now, as you can see, when I'm turning it this way, it retracts. So if your hose pulley isn't working, it may be because your rotation is going the wrong way. So let's make sure it's going this way. As you can see, it's then pushing it down into the body of water. And it's going to be draining this ocean. Now, what you'll see, if I get my goggles, it should tell me, I thought, so if the body of water is over 10,000 units, which this clearly is, it should see it as an infinite water source. And can you see that the pipe is here? So what you want to do is basically get, here we go, add a mechanical pump and power that mechanical pump to pull from the hose pulley. And as you can see, here we go, the targeted body of fluid is considered infinite. So it only shows that up when you add the pump, it seems. But basically, if a body of water like this is over 10,000 blocks, it will consider it infinite and run forever. But remember, the Nether, that will also work with lava lakes, and you therefore have an infinite way of draining lava from the Nether without even affecting the lake itself. So it will only show you that with the goggles on, and you need to have it powered with a mechanical pump. But as you can see here, it's pumping out the water into this pipe, and I could just pipe this out, and it'll be pushing it eventually out of here. So you can use this for pumping water, pumping lava, or anything else you like. And that is pretty much how we use liquids in Create. Thanks for watching, and before you go, I just want to say, if you want to join the Patreon in the description, that really helps support the channel, and you get access to our premium servers like this one here, which is currently ATM 10 at the time of filming. Of course, if you're watching a year after posting, it could be ATM 11, 12, or even maybe 13. We also do offer free-to-play servers, which you could just join the Discord to get, and if you'd like your own server, then check out the description for our G Portal 10% off with my link. Lastly, if you're new here, don't forget to check out the channel. I have an insane amount of mods available. As you can see, loads of tech mod guides, magic mod guides, utility mod guides. There is literally hundreds of guides that I have done. My goal here is to do every single mod in Minecraft.